So there's less direct light from him on me, on the front of me at least. I was just staring at that light now. I can't see a thing. Okay, Sweet Wisdom was one of the first songs, handful of songs, maybe the fifth or sixth song or something that I had written. Very early 70s, 73 maybe, 4. I guess that would make it towards the mid 70s. I remember the area we were in Pittsburgh, me and Linda Smith doing a duo. We had done Cloud already, and so we were in a duo stage. So that would make it about mid 70s. We were in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers had just won a Super Bowl a few days before, and or a day before or something, and they were coming home, and there was a big parade for them, and we're downtown Pittsburgh, and we're playing this big hotel, had a room up in the 18th floor or something like that. And I remember working on that song. I had a 2-track, but it was a sophisticated enough 2-track that it would let you record one track and then come back and record the second while monitoring the first. And I remember working on it and borrowing Linda Smith's D41 Martin. And very simple song. Again, that's one of those songs that you think, I should really rewrite it, and I should, but there's a charm in how old I was when I wrote it and what time in the culture I was in when I wrote it. There's this, I see it, and I don't want to erase that just to make it all 2022 or something. Like the culture in 2022 is superior necessarily to anything in the 70s or 60s. More sophisticated maybe. So Sweet Wisdom, good example of one of those songs where I'm saying the right things because I want to instill them in my thought. And it seems like I am telling the world these bits of wisdom, but really I'm telling it myself, things I've read that have resonated with me, that make sense. You think, I got to remember this. I just got to remember it. And I got to remember it in a place where I can apply it and experience what that knowledge is in some sort of visceral way or emotional way, or, get my ahas in there. Sometimes those things like that can really open up a panorama of your mind. So that was one of those songs. A few years back I was working on it, and I thought, why don't I really attack this song with an aggressive bass line? Because there's a punk streak in me. I'm not a punk musician per se. I'm not in any one genre musician per se, really. But there's bits of that. There's a lot of me that just loves the pounding guitar and just, emote. And that song was calling for it. Another song that probably could have used a more sophisticated drum beat or maybe a more aggressive drum beat. But I didn't want to drive it with the drum beat. I wanted to drive it with the bass guitar. And I remember having the lyrics on a music stand once, and Barry Volk, the singer-songwriter that was working with Dunhill Records that I was working with, to get a band together, he walked by the music stand, and the lyrics to the bridge were on there. And he was working really hard. He was burning the candles at both ends, trying to get his music career going, And he had some success. He had a recording contract as a singer-songwriter with ABC Dunhill. So So he was right at that time too, when that contract was coming in, and he was getting studio time and whatnot. And he came across the lyrics as I'm not sure why I hustle through my life, but sometimes I just wonder. And he went, yeah. He looked at me and said, that's exactly how I feel. I totally relate to that line. I could have written it myself. Uh, Barry, wherever you are right now, Barry Vogue, if you ever come across my information, please get in touch with me. That was quite the deal. So Sweet Wisdom, it has a bridge, and I changed it in for the bridge. It's that kind of song where I can just keep going and keep going. I think it's on revision like 83 or something like that. Uh, but all in all, I'm happy. It's that point where it's aggressive enough, where it's not exactly folk music, but it's not exactly Emerson, Lake and Palmer or Yes, or it's not progressive. It's folk rock, really. It is akin to the Byrds or the Buffalo Springfield or something like that. I don't have those kind of vocal chops. Don't mean to put myself in that group, but the intent wise, and Sweet Wisdom is a good example of that. Those are just C's and G's and A minors and really straight ahead stuff. In fact, I remember teaching it to Linda Smith, and she said, the chorus are the exact chords of the verse. And I went, what? I hadn't even noticed it. But she says, yeah, they're the same. Only you're no longer singing. You're singing up an interval, as if you were singing harmony with the previous verse, but but it's the same chords, and doggone it. Speaking of Linda Smith, she had a nice harmony. Best I could remember, I did her harmony there, but she had worked it out in the A minor and stuff. That was a fun song for us to play because of the harmonies. We could lean into it. All right, Sweet Wisdom. Anything I can say else about that? Again, it's that plea to the universe to bestow, or to at least help me remember my ahas, help me remember and apply what I'm learning, but not just about music, but about everything across the board, about being a human being and what that really entails. It's quite a handful when you think it through, especially when you're 70 and you look down your timeline and you go, holy man, whoa. Sweet Wisdom.